Picture this for a second. It's 2026. You're scrolling through your portfolio, and something feels unreal. The numbers don't look like luck. They look like decisions. Calm, boring, patient decisions you made years earlier while everyone else was chasing noise. This video is about those decisions. Not hype, not shortcuts, not get-rich-tomorrow fantasies. This is about owning companies that are quietly shaping the American economy right now. Companies so deeply woven into daily life that removing them would break entire systems. If you stay till the end, you'll understand why wealth in the stock market is rarely loud and why the biggest money is usually made before everyone agrees. Let's start with the company that's quietly become the heartbeat of the modern digital world. Right now, almost every advanced technology you hear about, artificial intelligence, automation, self-driving systems, advanced data centers, has one thing in common. They all run on the same foundation. That foundation is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is no longer a graphics card company. It is the engine room of the AI economy. Every major tech firm in the United States, from cloud providers to defense contractors, relies on NVIDIA's computing power to train and deploy intelligent systems. What makes this powerful isn't just growth. It's dependency. Once companies build on NVIDIA's ecosystem, switching away becomes incredibly difficult. Software, infrastructure, and talent all align around their platform. That creates a quiet, monopoly-like position without needing flashy headlines. As AI moves from experimentation into real-world execution, hospitals, banks, logistics, manufacturing, NVIDIA doesn't need to guess who wins. It wins either way. That's how long-term wealth is built. Not by predicting the future, but by owning the toll road everyone must use to get there. Now let's talk about a company almost everyone thinks they understand, but most people completely underestimate. Microsoft. When people hear Microsoft, they think of Windows, Office, and boring corporate software. What they don't see is that Microsoft has positioned itself as the operating system of modern business. Cloud computing runs through Microsoft Azure. Corporate communication flows through Teams. Productivity is locked into Office. And now, artificial intelligence is being injected directly into every one of these layers. Microsoft doesn't sell excitement. It sells integration. Businesses don't just use Microsoft, they're built on it. Once embedded, Microsoft becomes almost impossible to replace without massive disruption. What makes Microsoft especially powerful heading into 2026 is that it monetizes innovation without needing consumers to constantly change behavior. Companies pay subscriptions. Governments pay contracts. Enterprises pay licensing fees. That creates predictable cash flow, the kind that compounds silently year after year. Microsoft doesn't need viral products. It owns the background of the economy. And in investing, the background is where the real money lives. Now let's shift to a company that most people associate with one thing, but its real value lies somewhere deeper. Apple. To many, Apple is just an iPhone company. But that's a surface-level view. Apple is a consumer ecosystem with one of the strongest brand loyalties ever created in American business history. Hardware leads people in, but services keep them locked in. Every device feeds another service. Every service feeds another subscription. Every upgrade deepens dependency. What separates Apple from competitors is not innovation speed. It's trust. People give Apple access to their finances, health data, communications, and daily habits. As digital payments, wearables, health tracking, and premium services expand, Apple doesn't need to invent a new market. It simply expands inside the one it already owns. In a world full of disruption, Apple represents stability with leverage. And historically, that combination creates generational wealth. Next, let's talk about a company that quietly controls the flow of information in America and increasingly the world. Alphabet. Google isn't just a search engine. It's the default interface between humans and information. When people want answers, they don't browse. They Google. Advertising revenue fuels Alphabet's empire, but the real strength lies in data dominance. Search, YouTube, Android, Maps, Gmail. Each product feeds the next, creating a feedback loop competitors can't replicate. As artificial intelligence reshapes how people interact with information, Alphabet isn't being disrupted. It's evolving. AI enhances search, improves ad targeting, strengthens content discovery, and deepens user engagement. Alphabet doesn't chase trends. It absorbs them. And when a company controls attention at scale, monetization follows naturally. Finally, let's talk about a company that doesn't feel flashy, but quietly moves trillions of dollars behind the scenes. Visa. Visa doesn't lend money. It doesn't take credit risk. It simply sits between buyers and sellers and takes a small cut of every transaction. That business model is deceptively powerful. As the United States moves further away from cash and deeper into digital payments, Visa benefits regardless of inflation, interest rates, or consumer preferences. Whether people spend more or less, transactions still flow. Every tap, swipe, and online checkout strengthens Visa's network. And the more people use it, the harder it becomes to replace. Visa represents one of the purest forms of scalable capitalism. Massive volume, tiny margins, global reach. Now step back and look at the pattern. None of these companies rely on hype. None of them depend on viral trends. None of them need perfect timing. They dominate infrastructure, ecosystems, and systems people depend on every single day. That's how millionaires are made in the stock market. Not by chasing excitement, but by owning inevitability. By 2026, wealth won't belong to those who reacted fastest. It will belong to those who positioned earliest. The market doesn't reward effort. It rewards patience. And the biggest returns often come from decisions that feel boring in the moment, but obvious in hindsight. If you understand that, you're already ahead of most people. Because the future isn't loud. It's quietly compounding.